Hello everybody and welcome to my first video on the channel. I'm a big Formula 1 fan and I'm going to try and post as many videos, so like previews and reviews as possible. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Today I'll be talking about the Singapore Grand Prix that is coming up this weekend, and I'll just be doing a couple of predictions for it. Before I start talking about the Singapore Grand Prix, I thought I would first talk about the news that Zhou Guanyu has signed another contract with Alfa Romeo and he'll be staying for another year. I think personally for Zhou this is really good news because he's going to have another year to be able to prove himself. I think for someone like Théo Pourchaire, who's probably going to win their F2 championship this year, I think for someone like him it's probably a bit disappointing. But I do think that Zhou deserves another year to prove himself before we get the 2025 driver market changes. And it also takes a bit of pressure off Zhou for the rest of the season, knowing that he won't have to have a load of pressure on him to earn another contract. Now, before I get into my predictions this weekend, I just thought I'd like to mention the people whose idea I get the predictions off. It's like the layout of the predictions, and that's P1 with Matt and Tommy, two very good YouTubers. Watch them every week, and I would fully recommend you going over there and watching their videos because it'll be the same prediction layout as the predictions I do on here. But let's chat F1. So my first prediction of the weekend is biggest good surprise for the general weekend. And my biggest good surprise this weekend is Lando Norris. I think it'll be a very good weekend for McLaren and Lando especially, maybe a podium possibly. Lando has been very impressive for a while and I can see him continuing his good streak. Lando will have done this track a few times now, so he'll be pretty used to it. And I think he'll really push it this time and do very well. Now, for biggest disappointment this weekend, I am going to go with George Russell. Now, I don't think George Russell has had a very good season, all things considered. But I just don't envisage him having a very good race. But I think now we're at a stage in the season where, as mentioned before, as he hasn't had a very good season, I think now, between now and the end of the season, I think it's just important for George to get a few more points in the bag and try and end the season as positively as possible to have a bit more momentum going into next year. Now we go into the top three, and in third place, I've gone for Lewis Hamilton. Could I see Lewis Hamilton winning this weekend? Maybe, but do I think it will happen? No. Lewis is very experienced with this track now. He's been racing here for a few years and he'll know what he's doing around the circuit. He's had a good few wins here, I think. But I just don't see him winning this time around. I think what's important for Lewis now is locking in that third place in the Drivers' Championship and next year trying to have a go at Checo a bit more because we all know Checo hasn't had a brilliant second half of the season. Well, he's not had a brilliant season since Miami, has he? And I think next year he may be able to capitalise on that and maybe push for second place, even though Checo's got the faster car. But I expect Lewis Hamilton will do quite well this weekend. In second place, I've gone for Sergio Perez. Obviously, last year, Sergio Perez won the Singapore Grand Prix. Could I see him winning it this year? Yes. I think Sergio this weekend will be closer to Max than maybe people think he will. I think Checo is definitely due a good race soon. And maybe this could be the track to do it at. In first place, I've gone for Max Verstappen. I have gone very safe with that prediction. I've not gone for an out there prediction like maybe Lewis or a Ferrari possibly. I think it'll be very, very tight between him and Checo this weekend. I could see it going right down to the wire, which is a bit unusual in most races this season, where we've seen the Red Bull absolutely dominate and win by quite a bit. But I think as Max Verstappen has never won a Singapore Grand Prix, and with his run of form currently, I think he'll be even more up to win it this weekend. But you really can't look past Max and Checo this season. You know, Max especially. Checo's been alright at moments, but Max has been very consistent throughout the season, and it wouldn't surprise me if Red Bull go unbeaten this season. But anyway, guys, that is my Singapore Grand Prix 2023 predictions. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. It is certainly going to be an interesting Grand Prix this weekend, and if you would like to, comment who you think your podium 3 will be. I hope you all have a great weekend, and thanks again for watching my first video. Thank you all, and I'll see you all next time.